Hey guys, how are y'all today? Welcome to a new week. It's Monday. We're getting ready to go do our Monday schedule here. I'm tweaking on the microphone, stuff like that today. We're just after lunch. We're just going to have a good week this week. Want everybody to be happy about what's going on. I want to tell you a few things happening out in the industry today. Something's going on. Um, Something's in the air. I'm getting a lot of calls from agents that are at franchises and other things like that. And the first thing out of their mouth is they're asking if we force them to use a certain title company, a certain lender, or a certain home warranty company that we get paid on. Guys, I want to make things clear to you and clear to everybody else out there. Miller Homes Group doesn't take money from any affiliates, any. We believe this is wrong. RESPA's began to crack down on some of these. And I love the response they get. They say, well, you know, we hand select the very best for you to recommend. That's baloney, because there's franchises in town. There's one in particular I know that takes money from over 5 home warranty companies. They take money from everybody they can take money from. So here's the way I look at it. I want the customer to get the best possible service, and I don't want them to have to pay through me to get something that is inferior. And I can tell you there's probably only 1 or 2 home warranty companies out there that I even like. And we've got 2 that customers called us from from a franchise in town that don't even have vendors in this area to service their accounts. They can't get anything fixed. So those are things. We're also they're asking things like, can I get a hold of my broker? I said, I am the broker. So we're getting a lot of folks that can't even get a hold of a broker when they need to. Their broker lives in Dallas, or they live in Austin, or they live in Houston, or they live someplace else. I talk to agents usually every night till 8 or 9 o'clock, sometimes later. Some of them get brave and call me a little later. They're also asking if, when leads come into the office, what happens? Well, I'm going to give you an example. Stephanie had somebody call in, and it was a Rawls team listing. We try to send them to the person who's got the house listed. That's our goal, is to let you double side those deals. We don't do property time here. We have one line coming into the building. The reason for that is we want you to put your phone number on the sign. We don't want unpaid workers here to basically answer the door. Our door stays locked. We're by appointment only. These are things that are important for you when you're looking for a brokerage. Training is online. We do videos like this all the time. They're on Miller Homes Group. You'll start to see them on MHG Life on YouTube. We're going to have some channels on there for you, so you're going to have up-to-date training that's specific for your market. We don't believe at Miller Homes Group that one size fits all. What's good in Dallas doesn't necessarily work out here, and what works here doesn't necessarily work in Dallas. So we don't tell you what title company you've got to use, because we don't own a piece of it, or an agent in our office doesn't own a piece of it. The team leader's wife is not picking off leads that come in on your listings. If your lead comes in on your listing, we try to contact you and give it to you. The broker is on site and available. We also have more than one broker. I'm the broker of record, but we have other brokers to answer questions if you need. We're Texas only and Texas proud. It's not saying that we won't have a broker. I won't have a broker's license someplace else someday, but right now we're focusing on our home base. We want you, we're a member of several MLSs. We want you to be comfortable and do what's good for your business. If you can see behind me back here, we let people make their signs and put Miller Homes Group on them in keeping in compliance with TREC, and some of them, we've had to change. They weren't actually compliant, so we're changing them. But we want you to know that what's important to us is that you brand yourself, and we truly mean that. The customer looks at you as the brand. All listings, if they're put in the MLS properly, they promulgate out, and they end up being throughout the entire internet. Saying that we've specifically sifted through these vendors so that you have the best is an indication that they're taking money from those vendors, and they have a vested interest in themselves, not you. We have a vested interest in getting you done. So if you ask us for a recommendation of a lender, a home warranty company, or a title company, our recommendation is going to be based on what they can do for you, not what they're doing for us. We don't get paid. And if we go out to lunch even with a vendor, a lot of times we buy lunch. So those are things that we do. We're not sitting here with our hand out. They're welcome to come in. If they're bad, we don't even have them come in. We just tell them go away. Some of the ones we wouldn't allow in our building to service customers, buyers and sellers in this market, other people in town take money from. So keep that in mind. It's all about the customer, and real estate is complicated anyway, but I'm getting a lot of agents are getting smarter. They're beginning to ask, what do I get for my money? And they're being very smart and realizing they're not getting what they need for the money. And what happens is they pay these franchise fees, they pay these others fees, they've got these mentor fees, they never see their broker. They tell them, oh, you can go get that online, or you can call Tar Legal, or you can do this, or you can do that. If all that rings true, then what are you paying for? Here you have a broker and his wife that make decisions. I'm not going to kid you. I sold a couple things last year. Golf buddies, music buddies, you literally, I want to buy this, I took care of it. But you can ask several people around the office. I had leads that came in. I'm like, I'm the worst realtor to help you with that. Let me hand it over here, and somebody in Longview, let me hand it over here. What we're wanting to do is give the customer the best possible service. I feel like if I take a customer away from one of our agents, I'm stealing from our agent. And it's not about that. It's not about charging you for training. All our training is free. It's not about doing any of that. And we give you top-notch training geared to your market. I would never pretend to go to West Texas and train the same way that I do here in East Texas. Now, 50% of what goes on in a market is, you can do one size fits all for 50% of the plan. Other than that, you have to tailor it to fit the agent and the plan. And that's when you have a broker that's touching things and not just taking a paycheck. We don't have folks whose sole job it is to recruit. We are an invitation-only office, so when an agent has to call me and say, I'd like to invite so-and-so. Now, that doesn't mean we all think alike, okay? Not at all. It means that this is somebody that might be, boy, a really tough negotiator, and we want them on our team. And I'll give you an example. We have a cap, and over 20% of our agents cap every year, and that's unheard of in this industry, and we celebrate that. We have no franchise fee. We have a very reasonable monthly fee. We have all of these things that are provided for you. And then you have the freedom to brand yourself, not just the way they tell you. We don't copyright things. We don't do that. We want to give you the opportunity to be all you can be, and we're going to help you build your business. And one of the things we do at Miller Homes Group, if something happens and we're not a match and you want to go on your own, you're welcome to take your leads and your listings with you. We get paid on what's already in contract. And so those things work out real well for you. We have some people, I talked to 2 agents last week, that are tied to a brokerage because if they leave, they lose their listings, and they lose everything that they thought they were building for themselves. They've now realized they're building it for their broker. And what really is bad is the broker really doesn't end up keeping it either. These people, he ends up making the customers mad because they're not going to work with him. And so they end up going completely to another real estate company and don't stay with anybody. So we got a situation out there where you have agents that are looking around. If you'd like to consider Miller Homes Group, get with one of our agents and talk to them, and they'll tell you if you're a fit, and they'll call me and they'll set up an appointment. You don't need to call me direct, because I'm going to ask you which one of my agents do you know. So what we want you to do out there is we want you to be aware of is we don't take money from anybody. We're not pushing anybody on you. We'll have people come into a meeting every now and then and say hi, but it's up to you. They have to earn your business. My endorsement means nothing, because some people that I don't necessarily care for work really well with some of our agents. So if you have particular folks that you like to recommend, that's completely fine. We just don't take money, and that's what it's all about. So guys, when you're out there today and you have another agent asking questions like that, I want to make it clear to them, there's not 5 or 6 home warranty companies that we're taking money from. There's not a lender that we're taking money from. There's not anybody that's buying birthday cakes and all this kind of crap. It's all about one thing, and that's giving the best possible experience to the buyer and the seller, and by having happy agents who are free to do their job with what's good for the customer. Because I can assure you, when the home warranty goes bad, all right, the money they took, the franchise took, or the company took, even if you're an independent, is not going to offset the problems and the bad mouthing you're going to have. So guys, it's all about you. It's all about your branding. It's all about, what do you want in a brand? Do you want to stay and be recognized for taking money from other companies and this, that, and the other, because there's a day of reckoning coming, I believe. RESPA is going to clamp down on some of this stuff. They've skirted the rules too long. They're welcome to audit us anytime, because I'll tell you straight up, we're clean. So while everybody else is scattering because they've been taking money for years, Miller Homes Group won't have to be. I want to bless you guys. Thanksgiving's coming up. Hope you have a great Turkey Day. Hope you're with your family. Hope you do what you need to do. Hope everybody has the opportunity to sell something and finish this year strong. Awards is coming up December 19th. Remember, got to have you there. Bring your +1. Let's have a little fun. If you're with Miller Homes Group, you know the ones we've invited. Guys, have a wonderful day and be blessed.